Hello and welcome to this new Nestlé Engineering Automation Standards online training. In this session, we will discuss how to populate the ACM database from the flowsheet information. The automation standards in Nestlé are based on the ISA S88 for batch control. These standards set the terminology, define the physical model, define the procedures and recipes. In these particular sessions, we will focus on the physical model. So what is the physical model? First, there is this process cell, which is an entire collection of equipment needed to execute a single recipe from start to finish batch. A unit, it is usually centered on a major piece of process equipment, frequently operates or contain a complete batch, may operate on or contain only a portion of the complete batch, cannot operate or contain more than one batch at a time. Equipment module are groups of devices for performing one or more specific processing activities. Control modules connect the software to the process through actuators and sensors with all elements treated as a single entity. Let's have some illustration of the S88 physical model. We'll start from the bottom with the control modules, which are typically valves, pumps, or motors. Those control modules are contained into equipment modules to perform some actions, like a temperature control, like a flow control. Those equipment modules are contained into units to perform some process action, like a mixer, like a reactor. It will add value to your product. The process cells will contain your unit. It will be a combination of units to produce your semi-finished product. Let's have a look to the Nestlé tagging methodology. The reference document to establish your tagging is ED 221.19-2, which is the minimum requirement for technical drawings and diagrams. The tags are built as following for a control module. We have first the ISA code, which is the acronym for the motors, for the pumps, and the valves. We have a first digit, the X, which is for the unit. The second digit, the Y, is for the equipment module. The two or last three digits are just an item number from 000 to 999. For the training purpose, we have decided to use the Festo didactic platform, which is a mixing process. This mixing process has two plant units. The plant unit 1, which is a reception of tanks for 3 different raw materials. It includes a set of tanks, valves, and motors. We have the plant unit 2, which is the mixing process with a tempering, with a dosing system for the 3 raw materials, and a transferring. Here is a representation of the flowsheet of our didactic platform. As we can see, there is 3 reception tanks and the mixer. The 3 reception tanks are part of the plant unit 1. So all control modules included in this plant unit 1 start by 1. Each raw materials tanks belongs to a different equipment module. For the tank 1, we can see that the second digit of the control modules is 1. For the tank 2, the second digit of the control modules is 2. And for the tank 3, the second digit of the control modules are 3. And this is this way that Nestlé has established its tagging standards. As now we have the flowsheet established, we can build the Excel element list as here. So this Excel file, I have built it for this example, where I have one tab for my SAT8 physical model, where I describe my area, my process cell, my plant unit, and my equipment module or plant subunit, as well as the different actuators that we have in this project. So now with this Excel file, I'm able to populate the ACM informations. So let's go into ACM. So from ACM, I will create a new project. So when you have to create a new project, it's as well a library object. So I select project, give a name. So here it will be my didactic Festo platform. Didactic, sorry. And as descriptions, training material for my training purpose. So now I need to create my controller. So I right click on the controller folder in the class view and click add new. Here you have the list of the 4 families of controllers that we have as library for our Nestlé standards. So I will select control logics, for example. I will give a PLC name, didactic, and here is the descriptions, training material. Then for my control logics, I need to select the slot of my CPU. So let's say slot 0 is fine. The size of my chassis, 4, it's okay. The firmware revision for the Studio 5000 or the PLC firmware, 31. And the selected CPU, so L81 will be enough. Then there is 2 parameter group for HMI and historian that are used for the factory talk view AC or ME versions and for the Rockwell historian. As it's out of the Nestlé standards, we will not configure them, and we cannot remove those 2 parameter groups from the project. So now let's work on the physical model. So in my Excel file, I have my areas and so on. So I go back to my object configuration. So here my line code will be DI, the line number 1, the descriptions, didactic area. Then we need to set the orchestra group and specifically the security group. It is set as default at the beginning. You can change this value. I will demonstrate you later on how to use the security group in orchestra. Then we have the business unit group where you have to specify the division. Basically, it is the orchestra prefix of templates. I will demonstrate later on how to use that. Last, motion group. It's not used because we have no motion actuators on our library for process, so you can skip it. And click Finish. Now that we have the controller ready, I will right-click select Add New, go into the definition group, and select Process Cell. From here, the name will be automatically built. I just need to add a description for my mixer process cell. I need to specify if it includes the simulation or not. In my case, not. And I need to provide the process cell code, which will be mi on my side. It's here. And a number, 01, which is fine. And click Finish. So here you can see that my process cell definition has been added. So now I will create my plant unit. So once again, I will right click on my didactic controller, add new, select definitions, plant unit definitions, next. The name will be automatically populated. We can add the descriptions, which is my raw material storage tanks, for example. I need to specify to which process cell I belongs, or this plant unit belongs. So here it will be to my DI1 MI1 for the mixer. Need to provide a name that I have here in my file. Once again, Ctrl-C, Ctrl-V, and a number, 1, and finish. Then I will do for a plant subunit. So once again, right-click on my controller, add new, go to the definitions, select process subunit definitions this time, give a descriptions that will be raw material type 1 storage. As example, once again, you need to select the plant unit or process unit it belongs. So I have only one in my case. If I create a second one, I will see a second one here. I need to provide the PSU name, which is liquid 1. Or liquid only will be enough. And the process subunit number 1. And finish. So here I can see my subunit, my unit, and my process cell. And I need to repeat these operations for each process cell, each plant unit, and each subunit. So once the physical model fully populated, you have here your process cell definitions, all of your process unit definitions for the batch mixer number 2, the raw material storage 1, and all the subunits for this model. Once this is done, you can start to populate valve, motors, and instruments.